have a good friend who works for a certain government agency that is known for riding around on commercial planes and maintaining a high level of shooting ability. We were sitting around talking about guns at some point, and he was giving some advice to another of our buddies who was not a gun guy, but was interested in purchasing a firearm for self-protection. He's issued a Glock 19, and Glock immediately came up in the conversation as a place to start. But then he said, "Whatever you do, don't buy a Glock 26. They're horrible. If you want a smaller gun than a 19, get a 43X. Now I was a little surprised by this because, spoiler alert, I think the 26 is a fantastic gun that still has a lot of relevance even in the world of smaller and smaller carry 9mm, and I'm definitely not alone in thinking this. In fact, I think the Glock 26 might be the best overall Glock for the average, everyday civilian shooter and self-defender, so let's talk about it. Known as the Baby Glock, the Glock 26 was introduced in the mid-1990s as a subcompact counterpart to the compact Glock 19 and full-size Glock 17. Glock took the format of the 17 and 19 and basically shortened the barrel and the grip frame into a smaller package, so the 26 shares many parts and general characteristics with its two bigger brothers. It takes 10-round magazines, but can accept any of the larger magazines from the double-stack 9mm Glock family. It's a striker-fired pistol with a 3.43-inch barrel. It's 6.42 inches long, 4.17 inches high, 1.3 inches wide, and weighs 19.7 ounces with no magazine inserted. For comparison's sake, here's the 26 up against a full-size Glock 17, where you can really get a sense for how Glock just shrunk it down. The width is the same, and here it is next to a 43X, a slimline Glock that tends to be getting most of the spotlight in terms of concealed carry size Glocks these days. This one is a Gen 5, featuring an NDLC finish on the slide and barrel for its hardness and corrosion resistance, the Glock Marksman barrel, which is basically updated rifling and improved crown, an ambidextrous slide stop lever and reversible mag catch, and the removal of finger grooves on the grip. It has around a 5.5 pound trigger weight, and it's a Glock trigger, so it feels like a Glock trigger, which has never bothered me a bit. I've been shooting Glocks for 11 years now, so at this point, it's just the standard for me. I bought this 26 about 4 years ago for a couple reasons. One being that I had a Gen 4, that was one of the first guns I ever bought that I absolutely shot the snot out of and liked it. But me being even greener than I am now, I sold it trying to chase the next big thing. It was a great practical gun, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So when people started raving about the Gen 5 26, I knew I had to pick one up and reclaim what I had lost. Sometimes I wonder what kind of shooter I'd be if I just kept my original 19 and 26 and shot nothing else for the past decade. Probably a lot better than I am now. But what's the fun in that? Anyways, the other reason kind of goes hand in hand with that one. I was looking for the one gun to devote the majority of my time to, and the 26 is perfect for my use case and lifestyle as an average everyday guy who wants to be proficient with his defensive tools. But I think we all know that I have a few screws loose, and this type of minimalism and simplicity is a non-starter for a nerd like me. It has a set of Trijicon HD night sights on it, a striker control device, and I took Bubba's soldering iron to a couple spots on the frame because I can't leave anything alone. Other than that, it's a bone stock Glock, which is just the way I like them. I've shot it a lot over the past several years and have yet to have an issue. Boring Glock reliability on full display. So on to the point of this video. The Glock 26 being the best Glock for the normal, everyday civilian gun carrier. In short, it bridges reliability, concealment, shootability, ease of maintenance, aftermarket support, and overall flexibility that make it an outstanding platform that can do pretty much whatever a normal Earth person would need out of a handgun. Let's expand. The G26 is stone cold reliable relative to other small 9mm, mainly because it's built off the 17 and 19 design. You're not really giving anything up from an engineering perspective, so the gun tends to just run. And if something goes wrong, the parts are plentiful and easy to replace. Glock reliability is what I appreciate the most about the company, both from my own personal experiences and what is commonly known in the world of shooting. I've wasted way too much time on guns that don't work right, and reliability for me is the most important thing. It's fine to chase perfect ergonomics and aesthetics or the latest whiz-bang tech, but when it comes down to it, Glocks are utilitarian tools that work really well, and I love them for it. In 11 years of owning and shooting double-stack Glocks, and the Slimline series for that matter, I can't recall a single malfunction. Now, a few could have happened, sure, but if it did, it would have been something minor like some bad ammo. Nothing has ever stuck in my head and made me question its reliability. With a few exceptions, guns I buy that don't work well get sold pretty quickly. For the average civilian or the normal Earth person who's not going to be spending a bunch of time on detail stripping and maintenance schedules and all the rest, a simple gun that goes bang when the trigger is pulled and doesn't have to be cleaned all that much is a huge positive. That's more time learning to be a better shooter. Now obviously, as an average everyday civilian concerned with self-protection, concealment is going to be a big factor in choosing a platform that best fits your needs. Now it's certainly doable to carry around a full-size Glock 17 with a big red dot and a light. I know people that do it regularly, but those people are highly dedicated gun people. That's not who we're talking about here. A normal person interested in armed defense needs something that's going to conceal easily, but still give them capability. In my opinion, the Glock 26 is perfect here. Combined with a quality concealment holster, the short grip of the G26 hides away easily. It's a pretty chunky gun, and I could see how it would be tougher to conceal than a slimline Glock or similar, but for my body type, I've never had any trouble concealing inside the waistband. I've had really good luck with the JM Custom Wing Claw 2.5. It conceals very well, but it's easy to get a grip on the gun without jamming your fingers into the kydex, your belt, or the holster attachments. You sometimes hear from people in the know that it's a small gun that shoots like a big gun, and I tend to agree. It has a mellower recoil impulse than most of the slimmer 9s that I've shot, and I find it generally easier to shoot accurately than my G48, my G43X, or my P365s. Some people will knock the shorter sight radius if you're running irons like I am here, but in practice and for my shooting ability, I don't think it's really an issue. We'll address the "well, you can't even get a full grip on the gun, how are you supposed to shoot it well" argument the G26 haters love to bring up. They are correct about not being able to get all 3 fingers on the grip, but after shooting a Glock 26 for many thousands of rounds, I would say it really doesn't matter. Even though the grip is shorter, since it's thicker, I'm able to make more contact with my support hand and it makes the gun feel much less squirmy to me. Carrying with the regular base plate, I tuck my pinky under the mag. It feels kind of weird at first, but the gun shoots really well. It's easy to get caught up in some of these ergonomic traps without actually shooting the gun first, I get it. But my pinky tucks under, and the G26 is very controllable and easy to make hits with just 2 fingers on the grip. Yes, reloads are a little bit different, and maybe if you're trying to do USPSA speed reloads, you might slow yourself down a little. But I just move my pinky out of the way and go for it. I've never been pinched or anything, and I'm just not concerned about the ergonomics of a speed reload on a carry gun, or shaving off fractions of a second to put a fresh mag in the gun or whatever. If that really bothers you, then fine. Maybe get something with a bigger grip, and maybe even a magwell. Along these lines, if you're interested in taking a lot of higher level shooting classes or competing, maybe a bigger Glock would be a better option, but again, that person isn't the focus of this video. Another huge advantage of the Glock 26 and Glocks in general is that they're easy to maintain. I'm at the point now where I pretty much don't clean Glocks. I keep them lubed and will occasionally wipe some of the gunk off with a paper towel, but I can't remember the last time I gave a Glock a decent cleaning. I'm not going to tell you I've torture tested the ones I own or shot cases and cases of ammo through them, but there are a lot more experienced Glock shooters out there that will tell you the same. If you shoot it enough to where you need to replace parts, relative to other designs, Glocks are very simple to work on. Their design is intuitive for a somewhat handy person to detail strip and replace items as needed. The G26 shares a lot of parts with its bigger brothers, the 19 and the 17, which are both extremely popular pistols, which makes it even simpler to source things you need. Going along with this theme, the aftermarket and support base for Glocks is massive. There are tons of parts on the market, both OEM and aftermarket. Magazines are plentiful and affordable, and every holster maker out there is going to have a full complement of options for Glock pistols. If you've ever had a unicorn pistol that's out of production or just not that popular, you know what a pain this can be. The last point I'll discuss in support of the Glock 26 being the perfect Glock for the normal Earth person is the overall flexibility of the gun. In its stock format with a flush fit magazine, it's perfectly shootable. But if you want to increase its performance, you can buy a +0 grip extension like this one from Pierce that adds a little real estate for your pinky and doesn't add too much bulk to the overall footprint. I don't mind shooting the 26 with a standard base plate, but it does feel a little more substantial with the extension. Moving up from there, Magpul and Glock both make a 12-round magazine with a finger rest that improves your grip and gives you some more capacity over stock. And then moving even further up, the 26 can take 15-round G19 magazines, 17-round G17 magazines, and up from there. Any magazine that fits a double-stack 9mm Glock will fit into a Glock 26. Is it the most practical if we're talking carry? No, it's not. But if you're going to have a single pistol, having the option to boost your capacity for certain situations, or carrying a 19 or a 17 magazine as a reload is never a bad thing. Having a rail for a more substantial light would be nice, as I've heard a lot of the smaller lights that fit the G26 leave a lot to be desired, though I've never tried them myself. A weapon-mounted light is not a deal breaker for me in my use case, though if it is for you, that is something to consider about the 26. So there you have it. The Glock 26 isn't really a compromise. It's a highly practical solution for the everyday self-defender. Compact enough to disappear under a shirt, durable enough to trust when it counts, and flexible enough to meet different situations you might encounter. For the average person who wants one defensive gun they can actually carry and shoot well without spending every free weekend tinkering, the G26 checks more boxes than it gets credit for. If you're shopping for a first or your only carry gun, try to handle and shoot one before you decide. Prioritize good training over shiny upgrades and pick a holster that makes carrying comfortable and consistent. Equipment matters, but practice and mindset matter much more. If you like this breakdown, like, subscribe, let me know in the comments your thoughts about the G26. Really appreciate you watching, and we will talk to you next time.